cousin. I love you so much. I love you so much, cousin Julie. Julie Ann. Hi, Julie Luce. Keith Terry, Evie Layden. Hi.
Build a fire to take off the chill. Look for the way, even if there is no will. Fire, smoke, the laws broke. How do we push back the rain? It keeps coming, and the day is dark again. All I hear is the radio. Let me hear the rain. It's a new cyclone, a verbal hurricane. All I hear is the radio. Let me hear the rain. We're trapped in a vacuum, a new cyclone hurricane. Let the words empty out of my head. Stare out the window, just watch the sky. It's a little bit lighter than it was in the night. I tell myself it's the rain.
Evie Layden, Keith Terry, and I'm not sure who else, but we'll get there in a minute. Hi, Keith Terry is my guest tonight, and he's not here yet, and I'm not sure. Can you hear me? I had a little, I learned a lot about my technology today, but I learned something interesting too that I'm curious if anyone knows. The part that I didn't learn. So I got my laptop to start. Yay! But it needs a new battery. Not so yay, because I have to send it in Or, hi, Wally. Or I can go, to the mall. Okay, good. You can hear me because I forgot to charge. Hi, John. Oh, hi, John. Hi, John. Hi, John. Seattle. Anyway, when I plugged in my laptop, I wanted to use it tonight for this live. Hi, Pippa. But the Facebook interface on the laptop is different than it is on the iPad and the phone. So I've always done Facebook Lives from my iPad and from my phone, and tonight when I tried to do it from the iPad, from my laptop, the option's not there. Marilee, hi. The option is not there. Hello, RP. It's like it just doesn't. It's not. There's got to be a way, but I don't know what the way is. So I, after being all excited about the laptop, and I got the right microphone, and I talked. No, I actually have to send the whole. Hi, Bill. I'm sending my whole laptop for Apple Cares, and they're going to, because there might be something else wrong with it. Yeah, I can't change the battery in this. But I can't find the option for Facebook Live on a laptop. Hi, Mama Grace. Mama Grace is in the house. She's in her house. I'm in my house. But we were just together. I went and I got her some sunflowers. We love sunflowers. So anyway, I did learn about this microphone, and I learned that the one microphone, hi Bill, the one microphone that I've been trying to test with you guys doesn't work on the iPad and the iPhone, but it works on the laptop. And what else did I learn? I have all these dongles, and I've got so many cables and this and that. I'm looking forward to it as well. So that's why I forgot to charge my iPad, which is why I don't have my groovy little microphone in, because my iPad is at 9 or something. But you can hear me. So as long as you can hear me, I'm cool. I hope you had a peaceful day. I hope, Melanie, that your night was restful and you were able to get to where you needed to be today. I saw some lovely peaceful moments today in Oakland, which was nice to see. People working so hard around the lake. So on that note, I can't remember the first time I met Keith, but I remember the first class I took with Keith, and we'll talk about that now, because we're going to call him up on the phone. I wonder if Keith and Evie would do Corona Roki. Corona Roki. Okay, give me a minute, because I have the. There he is. There he is. Let's see my messy apartment, my messy kitchen, my eclectic kitchen. Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, sir. How are you?
Very well.
Where are you? Are you in your living room?
I'm in my, used to be an office, but now it's like the Zoom room.
It's the Zoom room.
Uh-oh.
I like the lights. Uh-oh.
Yeah?
We're having...
Hey, is it better vertical or horizontal?
Whatever you like, but right now I'm seeing these weird lines.
Uh-huh. Oh, like it's pixelating?
Yes. Hi, Marisa. So I can make you horizontal. I can do a lot of things.
Also, I want to see if this lighting's better. Hold on.
Love me some Keith.
Hey. Am I on the, should I be be on my phone or on my computer? Or does it matter?
It doesn't matter, whatever you're more comfortable.
Oh, I think
Do you get FaceTime on your phone? Mama Grace,
FaceTime
Peg.
on my phone.
Hold on 1 second. Mama Grace, Peg's here. Your sister Peg is here with Marisa. Everyone's saying hi. Cool, cool, cool. Sorry. You're fine. Here you
That's
go.
all right.
Now,
But if I, so I have to have FaceTime on my computer.
and that's the yes. You're fine right now. Are you comfortable?
Well, it just means I'm holding my phone. So, but let me see if I can prop it
Well,
up.
I could tell you. I could suggest some really great. I
I actually
created.
have a stand, but of course it's in the studio.
I created a stand out of a candle holder and a bracelet. A tripod. It worked great, but then
Yeah, no, I have a stand for it but it's in another room.
it's your
Oh,
call.
is this too dark? I can turn it on.
Melanie Demore says it looks great.
All right.
So
I'm going to take it from Melanie.
I'm gonna just do a little something here. So, ladies and gentlemen, Keith Terry. I don't even know how to describe. You're just like the music man. He's the music man. Do you want to know the first time I believe that I met you?
What was that?
It was at Studio J.
Oh, wow. Down on 4th Street.
9th Street.
9th Street, right.
And you were teaching a class on body music.
Mm-hmm.
And you taught us how to make a little hand percussion, like a little tiny drum, about this, like a little percussive instrument.
Made of what?
It was made with seeds and bottle caps and tape, and we taped it together, and then we had this little.
This was me?
Yes, it was you.
But that's not body music.
But it was.
What was I doing? What was I thinking?
Well, it was something that you integrated in with the dance.
Oh, I see. Huh.
And then I gave it to my brother.
Wow.
And he still has it.
I have no recollection of this. How long ago was that?
Oh, like a long time ago. 20 plus.
Wow.
20, 25. Because did you teach there on a regular basis ever? Or you just did workshops?
I don't think so. I remember... no, I don't think I did on a regular basis. I just taught workshops there occasionally. And Eddie Brown was around at that time, I think. Great tap dancer.
So, like, okay, tell them about body music. And also talk about the music that I played opening the show. Which was Evie singing and...
New Cyclone, right?
New Cyclone.
Body music first.
Body music.
Body music is clapping and slapping, snapping, stepping, singing, vocalizing. And it's, I think, probably the oldest music on the planet. Before we were making instruments, we were probably stomping and doing all those things to express our musical ideas. And there are traditional styles all over the world. Right here in the United States, there's like ham bone. Came out of the early 1700s. But there are styles really, in Asia, West Africa, and Brazil, various places. And what I do is not a traditional style. It's kind of for me, it was very influenced by tap dancing. I'm a drummer. I've been a drummer all my life. And I had a moment in 1978 when I had this thought that I could displace everything I was playing on my drums onto my body. And I stood up and I started playing around with this idea. Now, the context of this was a group called Jazz Tap Ensemble, where I was playing drums and a piano trio with Paul Arslanian and Tom Dannenberg, and there were three fantastic tap dancers, Fred Strickler, Lynn Dowley, Camden Richmond, the late, great Camden Richmond. And so it was through the involvement with that group that I got to meet all these older generation tap dancers. Nicholas Brothers and Charles Finney Coles, Charles Cookie Cook, Sandman Sims, Chuck Green, Eddie Brown, Steve Condos, Peglet Bates. I like to say their names because it kind of brings them all back into the room with us because they're all past. But I was really influenced. Excuse me. I was really influenced by those tap dancers. I'm going to take it.
So my friend Bill said, he's a drummer. It's really interesting, Keith. I have a lot of drummers that are my friends, and a lot of them have come on the show. And a lot of them scroll through, like my friend RP's in Albuquerque, and he plays Udu, and my friend Janelle plays Udu. And my friend Bill is in Boston area, and he said just now, he goes, I base all my drum soloing on tap dancing.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of those early tap dancers were also drummers. Baby Dodds, Buddy Rich, those guys. And so there's a strong connection of drums and tap dancing.
So Sammy Davis Jr.
Right.
played drums and tap
Right,
dance.
right.
Okay.
Right. And, you know, it's kind of controversial about the rhythms of jazz. We're talking about jazz tap. We're not talking about show tap or Broadway tap, that sort of thing. But jazz tap, where really those dancers are jazz musicians, and their instrument is their feet.
Sure.
And there's a controversy. It depends on which side of the room you're on. Of that, some say that the dance really influenced bebop, and others say bebop influenced the rhythms of the dance. So something happened between the two in those early developments. Yeah. So I've been inspired by tap dancing for a long, long time.
When did you first start tap dancing?
I never started tap
You
dancing.
you never tapped in?
No, I mean, I tapped a little bit in jazz tap ensemble, but I realized kind of immediately how challenging tap dancing is, and I realized I would have to just stop doing everything else I was doing and dedicate my life to tap dancing. And I was enjoying doing too many other things. So, but I knew that's what it needed to be a really good, fluent tap dancer.
So you play percussion, you play your body. When people say to me, they go, "Oh, are you a singer, or do you play an instrument too? Like, do you play an instrument?" Oh, I sing. Well, I know, but do you play an instrument? I said, yes. I play my body. I play my body. I sing my body.
Right.
And my friend RP, who's also a drummer, just said he saw Buddy Rich as a teenager in a jazz clinic with Doc Severinsen Orchestra. My solos are based on marching band rudiments. And then Janelle Burdell is here. So there's a drummer right now in Pittsburgh, a drummer in Albuquerque, and a drummer in Boston area.
Is this legal?
I don't know. I don't know
we'll find out.
I don't know what's legal and what's not.
We may get a knock on the door.
Well, that's why I didn't play it. I was loving the Overjoyed song, but I've even sang some Stevie Wonder on here a cappella,
cool.
and they blacked me out.
What?
Yeah. So
for copyright infringement?
Yeah.
I see.
So I thought, I won't play the Stevie Wonder because the melody's there, and I thought, I didn't want this. This show, I'm so happy that you're here.
Interesting.
It's so special that this man is like, keep going. So you're like this body music. He's like the music man, right, Melanie? It's true. That's how we think of you. Because you also play bass. Oh, drummer in Ukiah, Vinny. Vinny's in Ukiah, NorCal, in the house.
There you go.
Keith is in Oakland, by the way.
Crazy.
See, I have a lot of cool friends, Keith.
All right. Well, that's why I came on the show. I wanted to meet him.
11:11 with Jenna and Keith Terry. Hello.
All as one.
So where did you start? What was your first instrument?
Drums. I have a picture of me when I was about 3 years old on my front porch with my first drum. And I guess I must have been one of those kids who just banged on everything, because why else would you give your child, a 3-year-old, a drum, you know?
Right.
But I played, you know, just from, I can't remember when I didn't play, really. And I played all through, you know, school, and ended up going to college on a music scholarship. But drums were my first love, for sure.
And you play bass.
I manipulate the bass.
You manipulate it. You own a bass.
I try to play the bass. I do play the bass a lot. I enjoy. Oh dear, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I don't think I can cut that
Yeah,
off.
drumming on your body. Vin, you need to check out Keith's. My friend Vinny just said he loves to drum on his body. So, can you, in a little bit, maybe you can do what you do. It's magical what he does. It's just magical. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
That's all right. That's all right.
I'm still excited that you're here.
So I do play bass kind of in the more kind of Americana world with my partner Evie Layden, mostly. So I kind of straddle the jazz world, music world in drumming and percussion, and then in more the Americana side with the bass. I love the bass. I just wish I had started it many years ago. It's one of those instruments I think you have to grow into.
Did you take lessons, drumming lessons, and?
I did. Yeah. I grew up in Texas, where where the marching bands are really good because football is so huge, and football funds the marching bands. So I had really great music education in a small town in Texas, south of Dallas, and so I had a really gifted band director who saw that I had some talent and really kind of pushed me in good directions. He connected me with Paul Guerrero, who was head of percussion at Southern Methodist University in Dallas. So by my junior year, I was studying privately with him, and then I got a scholarship to SMU to study music, and ended up studying music and comparative religion there for a couple of years, and then I quit school and moved to New York to play music.
And what year were you in New York? When were you there?
I was in New York 74, 5, 6, around in there. It was a long time ago.
Were you there? That Paul McCandless was there back then.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard lots of good stories about Paul back in the day in New York, and that's about when he was there.
Yeah, he was there. Jack DeJohnette and those guys were doing a lot from that place up in Woodstock that they had. Creative Music Foundation was happening, all that. There was some really great scenes.
So were you playing out?
I was. I actually got a fair amount of work. I was working clubs. I got a little bit of recording. I was working some with Peter Q. Bach. I don't know if you know Peter Shickley. Peter Q. Bach is kind of a satire on classical music. So I was doing a little bit of work with them, and just a lot of different things. It was great.
Where did you live?
I lived on the longest place that I lived was on 77th Street on Riverside Drive.
Oh, nice.
I know. Well,
woo,
it was funky then.
fancy.
It was a long time ago, but it was great because you got a little river action, so a little bit of air.
So great. I walk a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's much nicer now than it was then.
Sure. Oh yeah.
But,
do you remember what your rent was?
Oh, it was something absurd, but there were like 7 of us living in this huge apartment. It was, it's like $200 or something. It was absurd. And before that, I landed a spot in the Columbia student housing for a little while, even though I never went to school there. So,
And then when did you
get
to the Bay Area?
I got to the Bay Area as a result of being on tour. I was playing a show of Godspell that was out of New York, off Broadway, out of New York, one of those touring shows, and I ended up coming through the Bay Area, and I saw some dancers that I had known in Texas because I was playing a lot of music before I left Texas, and someone took me to the Center for World Music, and I heard Javanese Gamelan live for the first time. I'd been listening to it on recordings, and it was like my ears exploded. I felt like I heard all music differently after hearing that. And so I went back to New York, and I got my stuff, and I came out to the Bay Area for one summer to study at the Center for World Music, and that was 1976, and I've been living here ever since, or based here ever since.
Yeah, because I'm on the road a lot. He's on the road even more. So
it's been a little crazy the last few years, but
right. We even ran into each other. we were in the same airport, and then we ended up being on the same flight from Paris.
Yes,
We were in Greenland or Iceland.
Something like, yeah.
All of a sudden, they're
something.
like, Jenna. And I'm like, oh, Jenna, who's calling my name?
It's so nice when you run into someone like that, so serendipitously, you know, and I don't know, it's such a small world story. I mean, what are the odds? And yet, I love it because it makes me feel human.
Yes. Yeah, because Edie and I ended up standing on the plane for a long time, and I met your son, and we hung out, and we were flying over, I can't remember, we were flying. Anyway, he flies a lot. Like, I get on a plane, and I go, and then all of a sudden, Keith's like, oh, just, Brazil is so beautiful today. And then the next time it's on, it's on Australia. I don't even know. I mean, like I said, so this is the longest time that I have not been on a plane or a train. And you?
This is the longest time that I've been anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Right?
I think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot recall being so still in my life.
And so still, and at the same time, I know you have an incredible garden, that you had a hummingbird nest?
Yeah, still do.
Tell us about that.
It's kind of amazing.
Hummingbird.
I've never seen a hummingbird nest before, and so I discovered this nest. A friend saw it first, and it's like at my front door. I can see the nest from inside the house. It's crazy where they built the nest because they freak out every time I open the door. But they're in there. There are two little ones in there. There were 2 eggs first, and then
what color were the eggs?
Say what?
What color were the eggs?
I think they were white. I got a picture and I just stuck my camera in a place and took a picture, and they were kind of green, but I think the green was the reflection from the leaves. They're in a magnolia tree, and it's really, really, vibrantly green right now. So, and I did a little research thinking that, it must all happen really quickly because they seem like their metabolisms are so fast, but they don't. So they sit on the eggs for like 2 weeks. And then they hatch, and they're still around for another 3 weeks before they're big enough to fly.
That's a long time.
So, I haven't seen a lot of action the last couple of days, and I always get worried about them. And so I stuck my camera up there today and took a picture, and there's definitely some, like, alien-looking creatures in that little nest.
Because they have to be teeny tiny.
2 centimeters. Then the whole nest is about the size of my thumb.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and it is so beautiful. It's got lichen and spider webs, and it's just one of the most beautiful things.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And do the mother and father both, do they fly back and forth? You see?
They do. Mm-hmm. They do. And it's funny, before we discovered the nest, just the different interpretations of what's going on. Sometimes I go out and sit on the front porch and eat lunch or something because it's always sunny out there. And my son had been up there, and he was talking about this hummingbird being really aggressive. He thought he was going to attack it. And so, but I didn't hear about this until later, because I was sitting out there, and I thought, the hummingbird's being really friendly. And I was like putting my hand out thinking the hummingbird was considering sitting on my hand. This is one of my fantasies. And our different interpretations. I think he was correct. I think it was a territorial.
Figuring out a way to, yeah.
Right. Just get away from my nest.
Melanie suggested that you show the pictures, but you're on your phone.
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
I wonder, maybe I could do this. Let's see. Well, I tell you what, on my Facebook page, I posted a little video clip just a few days ago, and you can see these little beaks sticking up. So it's pretty miraculous, It's just something so delicate and tiny, and yet, in the middle of a pandemic halt,
Well,
it just surges on,
That's what's interesting too. Like you said, you don't remember being anywhere for this long, and I have my place here in St. Joseph, Michigan, and I've never stayed here. I do this thing with part of my game with myself is I have this big glass, and I fill it with water. and then I leave. Like the last thing I do when I leave my apartment, I change my sheets and make everything really nice so when I come home I can just, and I fill this glass up with water, and I can always tell how long I've been gone by how much of the water is evaporated.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the water is my water glass now, and I just drink out of it, and I'm noticing things like in my place, I can see I can sort of see the Lake Michigan, but I've never been here to see the sun setting right in line with my window. And I was like, wow, this is so neat. The sun, and I'm going, yeah, Jen, it's been setting like that for a million years, and you've had this house for 7 years, and I've never been here to see like certain flowers, and there's a robin's nest at my brother's house, and we've watched the birds, and they flew today. I didn't see it, but they flew today, the 3 of them. But there's all these things that, life, not life still goes on, but all this different stuff happens that when we're on a plane and we're
exactly
on stage and doing, and you had a gig.
Well, let's just say nature is kicking ass.
Nature's kicking ass.
It really is, and it's exciting to see.
And everyone's really focusing on their gardens, and and nature's kicking ass. And the scary thing around here, there are a lot of coyote in town, like coyotes and deer, and wow, yeah, because they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just hang out here now because nobody's here. But yeah, check out Keith Terry's Facebook page. And so body music is an actual, it's your work, but you have a festival.
Yeah, I think of it as it's also called body drumming, body percussion. It goes by other names. I started calling it body music in 1978 when I started playing around with it, because for me, it's more than just the percussive side, because I use my voice, I can have melody, I can have a harmony, and kind of point. So I think of it as a broader musical experience than just the percussive side. But
Music Man.
That's it. I think of it as an umbrella term under which all these different body musics, body percussions, from around the world can kind of reside, and I think of the voice as part of that too. And everything from singing, what we think of singing, to kind of more vocalizations, and I'm thinking like Katachak from the Inuits in Nunavut, northeastern Canada, that Inuit overtone singing, which is done by women, usually very close to each other's mouths, kind of phases the sound. It's an overtone singing is similar to like tuva music, which we hear so much of because there's so many great recordings, but it's different. They're different kind of styles. So I think of that too, as in that umbrella. But I started the International Body Music Festival. Evie helped me with that. We started in 2008, and it's been kind of going strong ever since. I had for many years, I had a fantasy of a festival for this art form, because there had never been a fantasy for this art form. I mean, there have been fantasies for this art form, but there had never been a festival for this art form. And so in 2008, I got a Guggenheim Fellowship, and with it came a nice amount of money, so I used the money to start the festival, and it's continued on ever since. We've managed to keep it going. But the festival itself is international in that it moves around. So we produced it here in the Bay Area, where we live, but we've also been in Sao Paulo, Brazil, in Istanbul, in Paris, in Bali, Indonesia. We've been in Quebec. We've been in Italy. We did our 10th anniversary in Ghana, in West Africa. So we've really moved this thing around, which has been so exciting and such an amazing ride. And just the network of people that have developed as a result is just phenomenal.
So when you do it in Ghana or in Italy, are the other, like I was invited to be a part of your festival in Berkeley.
Right.
And there were people mostly from Berkeley, but there were also people from out of town.
Right. That was a mini fest,
Okay.
which is like a shorter version. And when we do those at home, they're more domestic. They're people they're artists that are in this country. So we do the full festival will bring like 75 to 100 artists from 10 to 12 countries.
Okay, that's what my question was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that runs from anywhere from 7 days to 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
And you do that once a year?
Well, we were doing it once a year, but I stopped. Well, I mean, everything has stopped, obviously, but I stopped a few years ago producing it in the United States because of our visas. It just became so unpredictable and so random and so expensive. The last time we did a full festival here, we lost $40,000 just on airplane tickets because our visas all got stuck in government shutdown, the first Republican government shutdown.
Right.
And so it required congressional action. I had Congress people working on it, lawyers, and then people couldn't fly until I knew what was happening with their visas. So we were buying these international tickets a day before people were traveling. So it just it's a small festival, and $40,000 is a big chunk of change. So it was at that point that I realized, it's unsustainable in the United States with the visa situation like this. So we started just concentrating on being overseas, and then occasionally we do these mini fests where the artists are in the country. It's sad, it saddens me because this is where we started the festival, and I love the impact that the festival has on this community when all these great international artists come out. Because we have them in schools, we have them, all over the place doing all kinds of things. So it spreads out, but we can't do it. It's just not feasible. And the interesting thing is that, like when we were in Brazil, we got government support when we were in Istanbul. The Turkish government supported us. Things have changed so much in the last 10 years that so many of those festivals we could no longer do. Those two, including. In Brazil it would be impossible, in Turkey it would be impossible right now.
And you did it.
So I feel like we hit it at the sweet spot. We kind of sneaked in there in the U.S. and these other places where, we actually had support.
Wow.
So I'm concentrating more now on mini-fests. And we have a big project coming up next month that I can't reveal the details yet for a couple more days.
Is it
but
going to be...
If people like body music, they're going to really enjoy this in the date is June 13th. I will say that much.
In Oakland? In the Bay Area?
It's all over the world.
It's all over the world.
That's all I can say. Until Tuesday.
My friend Bill is asking if you ever bought cymbals in Istanbul.
Yes, I did. And I have friends who've brought me other cymbals from Istanbul. It's just an amazing thing. But being in Istanbul and seeing that, there are all these like garages that produce cymbals. It's just the greatest.
Really?
If you're into metal percussion. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's such a strong, long tradition there.
Irene Young is on with us.
She is.
Hi, Irene.
Love her work.
Yeah.
For years.
Yeah, I think at least 3 or 4 of us that are on this feed have all had our photos taken from Irene at one time or another.
Yeah.
Amazing photographer that I've invited on the show, but she's so busy. We're all so busy in these different ways right now that
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. The best cymbals in the world, my friend Bill says.
I agree. I'm with you, Bill.
Bill, meet Keith. Bill Winokur. You may get a friend request from Bill. He's one of the just everybody on here. The community that has been created. Bill is in Boston? He's in Boston area.
Cool.
Yeah. Melanie. I mean, it's just such a. This has become so important for me.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I love everybody that scrolls through and sticks around and comes back. It's like we're kind of like our own little not like regulars at a bar, but you know, that way where like I know when I don't see Julie for a day, I'm like, Julie, you weren't there last night, or Melanie,
Just
where
hang
were
out.
you Saturday morning? That kind of thing. And yeah, it's a good hang. It's
Yeah.
a really good hang.
Yeah.
So June
June 13th.
13th.
Yeah.
June 13th.
You know, I've
It's
been
family.
passing through Boston kind of fairly regularly the last few years. Just some things at New England Conservatory and Berkeley School and a couple of other colleges there. We were there for Ovation, is it? I'm terrible at remembering anything these days. But one of the big arts presenters in Boston, we did a show there at that beautiful theater, that old theater on Harvard campus. Anyway,
I haven't been there.
details.
I don't know. So speaking of details, what did you have for dinner tonight?
But I haven't had dinner.
You haven't?
No.
What did you have for lunch?
I had grits with garlic shrimp that I made last night.
Nice.
Leftovers and greens from the garden.
Yeah, you guys have quite a garden.
Oh man, we are heavy into producing food. It's amazing how much food you can make, you can create, you can grow, I guess is what it's technically called, in a very small amount of space. But we grow so much food. And we have bees.
Yeah, you're a beekeeper? I didn't know that.
We have bees, yeah.
Are you both honeybeeing it?
Are we both
Are
honeybees?
you both work the hives?
We have a friend who does most of the work.
Okay.
And then we help with the harvest. And yeah, that's kind of the division of labor.
That's an amazing.
But I love having them around. They're so amazing, such amazing creatures. The whole dance thing that they do, coming and going.
You played at the Loeb Theater in Boston, according to Bill.
Uh-huh. Yeah, is that the name of it?
Larry Dunlap's here. Hi, Larry Dunlap. Larry has a wonderful show on Sunday nights for sure, and one other night a week.
Cool.
He just sits there in his, do you call it your cave, Larry? And he just plays, and sometimes Bobby walks in and she sings, and she goes, okay, I'm going to go make some tea. And then Larry plays this amazing song, and then Bobby comes back and, oh, I'll sing another song.
Nice.
It's fun. So
Nice.
I love supporting everybody that's doing this, because we're all creating whatever it is we're doing. So shrimp and grits for lunch.
Yeah, garlic shrimp and grits with greens.
And you have different greens in the garden?
Yeah, we have several kinds of chards, mainly. We eat a lot of cooked greens. We don't grow any lettuces and that kind of stuff, but a lot of cooked greens. Chard and kale. But you can eat, broccoli greens, too.
I love broccoli.
The leaves of broccoli plants, you can
Yes.
eat those as greens, too. Very nutty.
So what
yeah.
what have you been doing besides watching a hummingbird grow and producing a festival that we can't hear about? When you're ready, though, will you please?
Yes, come in this week.
Okay.
I will be.
Because then I can post it here.
Announcing lots of details about that. I've been biking. I bike every day around town, kind of utilitarian biking. I use that to do my errands unless I'm hauling equipment. So, still maintaining that, trying to just be outdoors as much as possible. I'm teaching. I jumped on Zoom online teaching, which I had never done before.
Crazy, right?
But I guess it's either 11 or 12 weeks ago now that I started doing that. I teach 3 classes on Thursdays. And at 3 different times, so it's great because I have people from all over the world in these classes. And I love that part. It's like, it's the only thing that kind of resembles the kind of travel that we used to do, yeah?
Right.
And just that sense of interaction. I mean, it's not the same as being in the same room with people, but it's certainly better than nothing. Yeah. And I like it so much more, I like streaming so much more than recording, because then you have the interaction.
Oh, so you mean the recording the lesson and then, yeah.
So that's cool. And I have been doing some recording of lessons for Jazz Festival pilot for Body Music for Kids, and I'm working on a series in 12 parts for a Chinese company. So it's funny, all this other, these other projects that I never thought about or thought I'd do maybe in 2 years, or here they are.
Yep. Doing them in 2 months.
I thought I might, teach online when I got tired of traveling or my body starts resisting it, sort of thing. And I had hoped, no, maybe a couple of years from now I'll do that. Well, here we are.
Now you're doing it. Yeah. How far out are you? Well, you have something in June, but as far as gigs?
Yeah. Well, everything, got canceled like in early March, and everything is canceled into November. Mm-hmm. I still have a gig in November in Armenia and a gig in China also. Who knows if those will happen?
Armenia and then China, yeah.
So.
Well, I hope they happen.
Yeah.
I want them to happen for you.
Yeah, I do too, just in that I miss people so much. But I have to say, I'm not excited about flying in an airplane yet. No. And I feel like this thing is going to be, there are going to be hot spots around the world. So this kind of international travel, unless there's a lot of testing and unless there's a really good vaccine, I just feel like it's going to be a little treacherous for a while.
Yeah, it's there. So if you were to teach us all something that we could take to bed or to dinner with us, could you do a little something for us? A rhythm?
Yeah, I can try to do that. I guess I have to put my shoes on.
Woo, he's put his shoes on. Hi, Dawn. Hi.
Hold on.
Got it. We are coast to coast, by the way. We have, coast to coast and everywhere in between.
All right.
I love it.
It's like the Jetsons.
Yeah. Wait, let me put my face on. Right. It is. It's. But see, I have all these things now, Keith. I have this right here, this ring, this light ring, and I have more cords, cables, and little things that these O-ring, this circle ring that I have to clip on, and then it goes out, and I plug another one, and I'm a paper girl. I never thought I would be doing this either. Oh, here we go.
I'm just seeing if I can get this.
I think maybe, the long way.
Do I have to go vertical?
Yeah, vertical. I'll go vertical, you go vertical. His boy, Elroy.
The problem is I've got an earbud. I really do need that stand that I have in the studio.
Telling you, candle holder and a rubber band, brother.
I need a bracelet or something.
I'll show you what I use.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm using my wallet.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I used a wallet the other day. Ellen Hoffman was on, and she used some towels and dish towels.
I think I have to take the earbuds out and turn you up so I can.
Oh, here it is. Remember, guys? Remember? When I first started the show, I was holding the phone. I'd interview people, and I'd hold the phone in my hand, and at the end of the day, my hand was like, "Rah." And then I got crafty and started balancing it, but then I clipped it to this candle holder. Anyway, Keith Terry is going to...
This just reminded me of, do you know David Flores?
Yes.
I had a dream about him once that I had hired him to teach a workshop. And David is a very funny man. And so he started a workshop, but it was more like his stand-up comedy act. And I finally went over and I said, David, could you teach the workshop, and he got really offended because I was asking him to prep his style. So he ended up teaching a scratching workshop, which involved this.
I love that.
It was the funniest dream.
Oh, in the dream, he didn't really do that. Oh,
This was all dream.
I was like, oh, what else did he teach about that in the dream? I love that. That's
Let's
like,
see. Okay, so let's see if there's something we can do really quick.
okay.
So, I have a clap.
Mama Grace is here, by the way, and she's loving
All
it.
right. Oh, hi. So the clap is, kind of a cut. The clap is not a hard clap, it's light. And you get that kind of low sound. And then you got chest, in the high part of your sternum there, 5 to 10. Let's do some threes.
Oh, hold on. He froze. Why'd he freeze? Poor connection. Hold on. It's going to resume. Reconnecting. 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 I love the scratching. Call back. This is a first. It's okay. We're just going to sit here and practice our scratching. He's unavailable. Phone died. Right back. Okay. I'll call you in 2. How's everybody doing? Isn't it so cool? I love it. I love it too, Mama. I'm so glad you're here. And Janelle, I love you. And Melanie and Irene and Bill and Dawn and Larry and RP in the house. And Julie, that was so fun with your granddaughters today. Regan and my brain just went char. Christine, okay, unavailable. Try again. So anyway, I was saying, we'll give him a couple more minutes. What did you guys have for dinner tonight? Oh, now, trying. It's so cool. How cool is this? I know, it's so cool. I am calling you. Can you hear me? I am calling you, Keith Terry. It's all good. I mean, it's not like I have somewhere to go. I don't have a gig to do. But it's not. Is your ringer on? I just got a text. Please remind people about your Patreon, Venmo, and PayPal. I reminded you. There he is.
Hi.
I've been practicing my scratching.
Oh, good. Isn't that a funny thing?
Is that so? In the dream, is that where you caught that one?
The scratching?
Yeah.
Yeah, David taught it in his workshop. Oh, yeah. Oh, the other part I forgot. I had asked him to teach a palmas workshop. The flamenco clapping.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I had asked him to do, and then he went into his comedy routine, and I asked him to please teach the workshop, and he got so upset with me because I had distracted from
Because he was
work.
just his method of teaching is him being funny and talking and doing his thing.
Well, it was in the drain.
Yeah, that would be like John R. Bird teaching a workshop.
He is a very funny guy.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do this.
Do this. Ready,
This one,
everybody?
I love this one. This was created by my friend Fernando Barbatux in Brazil, and it's just a simple samba. So the sort of part, the bass drum, ba-dum, ba-dum, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it anticipates, and that's right in the chest. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So if you go and 1 and 2, the snap. So it goes chest, chest, snap, snap.
Hey! Hi, George Brooks.
Hi, George Brooks. Love George Brooks.
I love George Brooks. That
I'm
was.
trying to get my wallet to hold up my.
I'm telling you, it's about the wallet.
I started hitting the floor and the floor vibrates. So.
I've never done this
Now I've
before.
got 2 CDs also in
Yeah.
here. So yeah.
And then tomorrow you might have 3.
So I was trying to go with my foot.
What was that last move?
So I just closed my hand like this,
Mm-hmm.
not too tight,
Mm-hmm.
and then the thumb side I'm putting on my mouth, and then I use my fingernails like this. I'm kind of pushing against my thumb. See that? I can get some kind of strong, and I'm playing that on the knuckles of my hand.
Ooh.
And I'm not using my voice. I'm just changing the shape of my mouth from a small O to a large O. Isn't that beautiful? It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's just so nice.
Are you all doing this at home?
Yeah, you can thank my friend Fernando Barba
Thank you, Fernando.
in Sao Paulo, Brazil. He invented that years ago, and millions of people do that all over the world.
Super crazy, right, Melanie?
And it works at different tempo, too. But I like this kind of low. Can do it all day.
I'm going to. I might do this as I go to sleep. So the song that we played at the beginning of the show,
Oh yeah, what'd you play?
Evie's song, from Evie's record,
New Cyclone, yeah.
New Cyclone. Who else is on that besides the two of you?
Eric Pearson.
Eric
Guitarist,
Pearson.
Eric
Wow. Wow.
And we were that band, Evie Laden band. But all 3 of us are writers of that song, and we co-produced it. It's the first one we'd ever all done together like that. And I got to play drums and bass on it, which was really on the entire album. So that was really, really fun. fun, just kind of mapping that out and thinking that through, and it's just really satisfying in a new way for me.
Where did you record?
We did that at Sonic.
Okay. Piero is on. You know Piero Infante. Do you know Piero? Freaky Executives, Piero. Hi, Piero. So we got a lot of Bay Area peeps on tonight.
All right.
510 in the house. When did you record that?
That was last year.
Beautiful record.
I think that was last year, yeah. And that song was actually in response to the fires, and there were a lot of mass shootings going on at that time, and the fires, the news was so bad every day. And it was in response to that. It's kind of appropriate for today, too.
Yeah, who'd have thought it would be even more appropriate? Yeah. So, are you guys playing a lot at home? Are you?
We're playing some. We've been doing a lot of performances. We did a concert in England a couple of days ago, and yesterday we played our first live show. 104th. Did I tell you this?
You told me, but please tell.
It was a 104th birthday party. What am I trying to say? So it was for about 10 people in a cul-de-sac, and we got out of the van and stayed near the van. We didn't get near anyone. We took our masks off to sing, but people were kind of far away. And but this 104-year-old woman, we didn't know her. She was a friend of a friend, kind of thing, or a friend of a student of Evie's. There was some connection there, but she flew planes in World War II. And I said, you didn't fly in combat, did you? And women were not allowed to fly in combat, but they did transport these bombers and fighter planes across the country and stuff, and she was one of those pilots. Amazing. 104 years old, going really strong. It seems she's a little hard of hearing, but she was getting around. It was kind of amazing.
Did she know about your music?
She did not.
Okay.
It was her niece, I think, who knows Evie, who arranged for us to go there.
How fun. What a joyful...
She had a great time. It was a great time, and I love old people.
They're the best.
I think it's because I am one, but...
not compared to her, you're not.
Not compared to... No, it's true. She's got another, 40 years on me, which is kind of amazing.
I have I've known women, 2 that made it to 108, but I had 3 women friends at the same time. They were all 107 years old.
Wow.
One of them was a student, one was a friend, and one was Eva Zeitzel, ceramicist, and I met her in New York, and I used to have lunch with her. And Eva had this amazing, her son John is a friend, and she had this little ear horn that she would put in her ear, and it had a wire, and then there was a little cup on the other end, and you'd go, "Hi, Eva," and she'd say, "Hi, oh, bye, George." She'd say, "Oh, hi, Jenna, when are we having dessert?" She loved to have dessert. But
so it was like a ear trumpet.
Yeah, little tiny.
Oh, those are very cool.
Yeah, and it worked for her instead of all these high-tech.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I know another 104-year-old who's a friend of my mom's, who's 91 in Texas, and she's going strong too. And then my neighbor 2 houses down, who she passed at 104 a couple of years ago, and she was going strong to the very last month. She had a stroke, but until then she was doing her own gardening. She did not wear a hearing aid, did not use a walker,
and lived at home.
Managed her triplex, lived alone. She was a farmer from Nebraska. She and her husband came out years ago. He was one of the first African Americans to teach at UC Berkeley. He was a biologist. And just an amazing story these people had.
Yes.
And the other great thing is that I have a friend in New York that I've known now for 40-something years. We've worked together. I've hired him for projects and said he's a drummer. And I knew that he had an aunt in Oakland. He would come out to visit once a year. So when I moved to this house 16 years ago, I was on the phone with him telling him where I lived. It turned out it was his aunt, 2 houses down.
No.
Aunt Nell. So Aunt Nell became our Aunt Nell also. She and our son had a very special relationship that I never understood because they were always laughing and giggling about things.
How special. Well,
Very special.
my mom and I had such a great time at your party. Thank you so much for inviting us. Yeah, that was, we talked about the other night, and she was saying, oh yeah, and I danced. My brother goes, who did you dance with? Oh, my friend Keith Terry. And my brother goes, Keith Terry? And I go, yeah. She said, yeah, Keith and I danced at the party. What songs did you play at the birthday party?
We played for about an hour. We just did some, standards from, the 30s and the 40s, and I don't know. What do we play? We played some Hank Williams and some.
Evie's really great.
I can't even remember now.
Wasn't it? How was that?
We played some originals and just a mix of stuff. We played, a lot of stuff from the repertoire of old time music, which predates bluegrass. It's all about death and we played All the Good Times are Dead and Gone, and
at a 104-year-old's birthday party. Great.
Exactly. All these songs that they talk about graves and murderers, and it was a good time.
I'll remind you to come play at my 104th birthday party, and you can play those songs.
I would be honored to do that.
I think well.
But you probably have to remind me.
I'll remind you. Oh, I've had to remind myself of a lot this week. All of a sudden, I'm like, why? Hello, brain. I just think it's just what's happening with us. Well, I am so excited that you are here, and I invite you, and please, on this feed, if you want to put in any links to music or to your websites, Evie's websites.
Sure.
Post it away.
I will do that.
And then let me know when June 13.
June 13.
See?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah,
June 13. Is it a Friday?
It's a Saturday.
Okay. Everybody.
Yeah, June 13th.
June 13th. Well,
Saturday.
if you would like to come on here again before and
cool.
talk about that.
All right.
Okay. I invite you back. And I would love to have Evie on sometime, so please pass on the invitation.
I'll pass it along.
Possibly the two of you together would be really fun, too. But
all right. Yeah, make sure you're putting the stress on the second chest. Dun-dun, dun-dun, and one, and two. So you got that pickup. Dun-dun, shik-a-dun, shik-a-dun, shik-a-dun. Yeah. Sounding good there.
I'm going to have to take a lesson with you. Or 2 or 3.
Come on over. I'll see you in Zoom land.
Okay. All right. We'll do it. Thank you. Keith Terry, everybody.
Thanks for having me on, Jenna.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I love you guys. I love you. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
You don't have to tell him to eat his vegetables. Really fun. Thank you, Bill. Oh, so fun. Thank you, Irene. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Julie. So cool. And Irene, thank you so much for announcing when the show is on. I know, so much. I'm wide awake. Who's here? Who wants to hang? Who wants to I even got my neck going. I know. And Jeff Metzger was here tonight. Yeah, all the huge. You guys are great. You guys are just fills my soul, fills my heart, gives Mama Grace and I talk about it the next day. Oh, and then such and such, and oh, how great it was. My mom's sister was here tonight, Peggy. She's 94. She lives in New Mexico. RP, I think you know Peggy. And Pippa was here from New Mexico. Representing for sure. And Machiko Shimada from NorCal, and Paul. And Mary. And Emily Klee. Oh, and my friend Ruben. So cool. So cool. And my cousin Marisa. I love it. Thank you. And John Pruce. and Wally. Yeah. It is a gig. It's you know, you get done with the gig and then Melanie, you still here? Want to come on and say hi? I'll do it and see what happens. Then I'll know. Because if I don't, if I can bring you on camera from the beginning of the feed. Let's see. She's my friend Melanie. She might say no. We'll see. But wow, Keith. I love these people. Mama Grace and Peg. Yep. And Courtney. Hi, Courtney. Hi. Oh.
Hey,
Hey.
hey.
What's up?
You know, I'm hanging in there, baby.
Yeah. I was checking.
Yeah.
I wanted to check in on you, so.
Yeah, I was up very early this morning being the Reverend at 5:15, you know, for a check.
5:15?
5:15 because I had to be on to do a check with them at 6. Right?
Oh. Okay.
Right?
Thank
Because
you.
they're 3 hours ahead of me. So
Wow.
yeah, so I was.
And then how long were you there?
Let's see, I was about an hour and a half with them and all of that. But I'm pretty tired and. You know, and it's tricky here in Oakland. Just got a little alarm on the phone, you know, about telling people to stay home and because of this disturbances.
Yeah. Well, there's a.
But you know, yeah.
Good night, Mama Grace.
Good night, Mama Grace.
Curfews happening. So there's curfew in Oakland now.
Well, actually, there's not. They didn't do a curfew this afternoon. They were not. They were trying not to do that. But what they've asked people to do is just kind of stay. There's like pockets of things happening all over downtown and all over here and everything. So they're just asking folks to stay in, you know.
Stay in, stay
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. But you know, we all got to keep doing what we do. And
Yeah.
you know, folks think I say, you know, you got to use the gifts that you have and work from right where you are. There's, you know, little kindnesses, little something, you know, and try not to let your heart be shredded, you know, because it's easy to do that. So I got to do a lot of singing and loving up on people today, you know. And
Thank
this was
you.
great.
I
love
loved
Keith.
last night. Oh,
Yeah.
isn't he just so wonderful?
Yeah.
He is just such a magical human being. He is the music man. He really is.
He totally is.
Let me hear you do yours.
I have all kinds of other, because I used to do body percussion with Keith and with the Cultural Heritage Choir with Linda Tillery. So
With
you know,
Linda Tillery.
Linda Tillery. Yeah. So you know, I have some that I really like. So if you take something like this, Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, fleece was white as snow. You can make anything funky. Oh, we gotta have a show.
We are.
Jenna, we gotta do it. And we're gonna do 11:11 and Lily and Pearl at the Freight.
Lily and Pearl's on vacation right now, girl. She's with her family.
I was gonna say I haven't seen Lily and Pearl in the last couple of days.
It was really hot here.
Yeah.
And my apartment is hot. It's like, and she was like melting and bored because I'm so focused on. This is my job. This 11:11 with Jenna.
It's your gig, baby. You know, it's your gig.
People, I'm doing stuff. It is, and I've got all these, like I told you, these lights and these cables, and I'm working on something for Corona Roki on Thursday night. Not music, more exciting, and she'll be sitting there like this. I'm so bored. I'm so not into this. And she has this lovely family that have 7 children, and they live on a cul-de-sac. And she's been going there for years. When I go away, when I go to Europe and stuff, she stays with them. And So she's on vacay.
That's it. She's at the doggy spa there with her friends.
Super grateful. No, her
That's
dog,
great.
doggy spa is motherly love.
Oh yes, you've mentioned motherly love before.
I make sure that she's all spot up before she goes over there.
But Lillian Pearl's she has to live large because
she lives larger than I do, girl. You should see her food. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this bite. Okay. I mean, she eats a little. She's not a big eater.
Uh-huh.
So
and she's particular.
Oh my goodness gracious! She eats curry and pasta sauce, and yes, she does.
She is an international canine.
And Lillian Pearl.
That's good to see you, my friend.
You too. Well, thank you very much. Sleep well, and
I will.
Maybe we'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, baby,
but you'll be here, and maybe on Thursday night. Corona Roki Thursday night.
I like to listen. I haven't been enjoying listening to people. I sing all the time.
I know. Hasn't it been just fabulous?
It's been incredible.
Hasn't last week incredible?
Delilah, that little girl is something. She's something.
Delilah.
I work with a lot of kids that age.
Hot. So remember the family, the mother and daughter and son that performed? Yeah. The mother is Delilah's teacher.
There you go.
So my friend Dave, he brings in the ringers. My producer brings in the ringers. His wife, his sister-in-law, his nieces. Yeah.
That's great. I love hearing Delilah sing. I think she's just great. And this is wonderful for she's so excited about doing it.
She rehearses all week.
I love that.
I hear about it during the week. Oh, Delilah's got this going on, and I met her at one of my.
She's probably already working on next week's tune. Oh, she's already working on next week's tune. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What she's gonna wear, and Anyway,
we know about all that stuff.
Yeah. The first time I met Delilah was at one of my gigs, and my friend Dave comes up. He goes, my niece, she sings. I go, you mean the cute little one? Really? She sings? Cool. I'd love to have her sing. Have her sit in. She came and sat in. And I was like, you can do the rest of the show. I'm just gonna sit right here.
I always love it when kids come to my show. When kids come, and this one kid, his mom is Ellen, another Ellen. And every time he would come to see a show of mine, particularly at La Peña, a pineapple.
Oh.
The fresh pineapple. This went on for years. He's now almost 30 years old. But he would come with his mom, and he would come and he would be there waiting till I had a break with the pineapple. Come on.
People are special.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had someone that he grew carrots in Washington State. His name is Nash. He's famous for his carrots, and he would bring me bouquets of carrots.
I love that.
But
because that comes straight from the heart. And it's like,
because he had to go to the store with his mom to get I have to get a pineapple for Melanie.
Yeah. I don't even know how that started, but he would come and there he'd sit, and when I first met him, he was like small enough to kind of sit on his mom's lap. I mean, now he's like 6'6", And when he graduated from high school, he invited me to come to his graduation dinner with him and his mom.
Wow.
And some friends. And so, from sitting on my lap with a pineapple, and then this big, huge guy, and that was probably 7 or 8 years ago now, at least. So.
Well,
but a pineapple.
I bet one of your gigs coming up.
Huh?
He's going to show up with a pineapple. I said, one of your gigs coming up, he's going to show up with a pineapple.
Yeah.
And I hope that I'm there. I'll plan on being there.
Well, maybe it'll be when we do 11/11 at the Freight.
Gonna happen. Sharon, Peter, hello.
Yeah.
Sharon, Peter.
We're ready. We got it.
If we do a live 11/11, y'all have to come. Marilee and Janelle and
That's right. Yeah, all the Reds have to come. We need to get Gary to come too. Need to get Gary to come.
Gary will fly.
I love that guy.
Because Gary can be the MC. Gary and I'll do a thing, and then I'll have some of the guests that have been on my show. We'll do a live
Yes.
show there.
Yeah, get
Janelle
Keith to
Burdell's
come.
got to come.
Yeah, she has to come. And maybe we can get June to come. Get the band back together.
So Janelle, we have a thing. Melanie and I have it. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time. And Melanie, we're just going to do something soon.
Okay.
For June.
Cool.
The June thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but you can't tell June.
I won't. Don't
tell June, Janelle. Janelle doesn't even know, but Janelle, don't tell June that we're planning something. All right, girls, I'm gonna go brush my teeth, and I'm watching Top Chef.
I love Top Chef.
Did you ever watch?
I did. The
one I'm watching
when I lived in
now is
Austin, I was a chef, so I always loved to watch the chef shows.
Oh yeah, you did say that about your life,
Yeah.
Austin. Yeah, I love watching Top Chef. It's the one where they're all chefs. They're all like they've all been on the show.
Yeah. It's the All Stars.
Yeah, don't say I guess it's not the All Stars. It's not the Superstars. It's all chefs that have been on the show that didn't win.
Right. I see. So it's their chance to come back, redemption.
Right, but they're all, now they're like, oh, I have 9 restaurants, and I have opened 30 restaurants, and but they're, doing the quick fires, and tonight
I love that.
It's restaurant wars for me tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you very much for calling me up.
Oh,
I needed it.
I needed it also, and other people said they were happy to hear your voice as well. So, yes, we need it. Okay. We need each other. We're here for each other.
We do. We are not here on the planet alone, no matter what we think.
Thank you for that reminder.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Good night.
Love hard.
Love hard.
Bye.
Oh, wait, Bye. There are 11 of you here. Melanie was here, and she slid that way, and Keith went this way, and I'm going to go. We are not alone. We are all here together. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tomorrow I linger. Monday morning, we just Monday meandering, just kind of hang out, float by. And tomorrow night I will be doing a meditation. And Tuesday night, hi Rosemary. Tuesday night is Lulanza and Coquelicot on Thursday night, or Wednesday night, and Corona Roki on Thursday. And then Friday, something kind of special. And Saturday is one more Saturday night. And then we go from there. Sleep well. Rest well. Stay home. Stay safe. And call someone. It's not too late. Where you are, some of you. You can call me if you want. Love hard.